Hi, it's Alex Navas here with AlexNavas.com, and in this video I'm going to show you 4 steps to becoming an expert. These are 4 different skills that you have to acquire or develop in order to become an expert, because there's a big difference between being a generalist and being an expert. But before I tell you these 4 steps, let me tell you about a friend named Ruth. Now, Ruth is a Mary Kay advisor, and she's a beauty advisor. And she came to me at one of my workshops, and in my workshop she said, "Hey Alex, I go to business networking events. I don't like going because anytime that I tell business owners what my business is, that I sell Mary Kay products, they don't take me seriously. It just kind of shuts the door for me, and they go and find somebody else that might be running a brick and mortar business." And what I told her was that the problem was that she was treating herself as a generalist, not a specialist. So let me tell you what that looks like. So as a generalist, you typically tell people what your position is. I sell Mary Kay. I am a plumber. I am a loan officer. I'm a real estate agent. And the problem with that is that people that you speak to, that you give this message to, they have an opinion of what that looks like. There might be somebody that had a bad experience with a plumber, and so when you say I'm a plumber, what they're going to be reminded of is that bad experience with the plumber. So they already have their mind set on what that looks like to them. And so when you say what you do, your position, you're not really saying who you are or what you actually do. What you're stating is your position in a company or the physical thing that you do. I sell Mary Kay products. And so these 4 steps are really important, and it's what helped Ruth be able to develop a marketing message that really got people's attention, and they didn't run away from her. In fact, they wanted to know more. And so the first step, and I'll tell you exactly how we changed her messaging so that she can be positioned as an expert. So the first step of being seen as an expert as opposed to a generalist is to have an opinion. You see, if you have an opinion on your industry, if you have an opinion and you share that vocally, you take a stand for something, then people pay attention. Let's talk about Oprah. Oprah takes an opinion, even though she's not necessarily a specialist on health or education or finances. She might know a thing or two about it over the years that she's interviewed things, but she hasn't gotten any degrees in these different areas, so far as I know. But the thing is that she has an opinion, and she bases that opinion, and her opinion sways what her audience does. If she says, "Hey, read this book," they'll go and buy the book. If they say, "Hey, buy this product," they're going to go and buy a product, because she's positioned herself as an expert, and now she has this audience that is listening to her opinion. And the thing about it is too, she's borrowed other people's expertise. So she brings on guests, and next thing you know, she's borrowing from their credibility in those areas, such as health, such as healthy eating, for example. And we all know that she's had battles with her weight. However, people still take her opinion as far as health is concerned. Why? Why is that? Well, because she has an opinion, and a lot of that is based on some of the guests, some of the information, some of the stuff she's researched. And based on that, she's formed an opinion, and people will now listen. And so that's number 1. Key number 1 is to have an opinion in your industry, because when you stand for something, people will gravitate towards that. They're looking for a leader, and you can be that person. Step number 2 is to organize. Now, what I mean by that is organize your expertise, organize your testimonials, organize your knowledge. You have to gather all this ammunition that you already have to prove that you are, in fact, an expert. Because generalists don't do that. They just they're so busy doing the ins and outs of their business, they don't take the time to organize, to create this positioning as an expert. And I'll give you an example. If you talk about a dentist and an oral surgeon, they're similar because they're in the dental field, but the dentist is a general practitioner. So what they do is they clean teeth, they do x-rays, maybe they do light repairs, things like that, but they're making $40, $50 for the cleaning. They're making $100 for the x-ray. They need a whole lot of people in order to make the same amount of money as the surgeon, the expert, right? So we have the generalist that's always busy, that's spending more money on advertising, that's trying to reach out to everyone, that's blanketing their marketing everywhere because they haven't specified who they're serving. That's the generalist. And then we have the expert over here. The expert does things differently. They target a community. They organize their thoughts. They organize their experience. They organize the successes that they've had with their clients so that they can go and target more clients just like that, because they can easily charge $3,000, $5,000, over $10,000 for their services, while the dentist here, the generalist, is only charging $40, $50. So you can see that organizing your testimonials, organizing your thoughts, organizing the successes you've had, organizing even if you had media attention, organizing that and now presenting it to your audience elevates you as an expert. The third step, so we have step one is have an opinion. Step two is organize for your positioning. Step number three is outreach. We've talked about that already, but outreach is, hey, I'm an expert, I've had success, now let me go out there and get more attention. They do outreach. They're very specific on letting it be known that they're good at what they do, that people have had results with their services. They're good at the outreach, so they know who they're targeting. They specifically target a select group of people. Let's call it a niche. Let's call it a target market. You might have different marketing terms for that, but ultimately it's them deciding who is their ideal client, and then they do some outreach to them. High value outreach. They're educating people. They're showing testimonials. They're showing case studies, as opposed to the generalist, and what they're doing is, hey, here's a coupon for $20 off your x-ray. There's no education there. And so you see the difference between the generalist and the expert. And then finally, step number four to becoming an expert is an opportunity. You have created opportunities. There's opportunities that you've already had that you may have looked beyond, or you've looked past them, or you create your own opportunities. If you think you haven't had the right opportunities to go out there, you create those opportunities. As an expert, when you educate people, when you have an opinion, when you organize your positioning, when you have outreach, then you get opportunities to do things you wouldn't normally do. I'll give you an example. Just a few years ago, when I was still in the finance industry, in the mortgage industry and the finance, I got called upon by a new, Chicago News here, and they said, hey, can you speak on the subject of foreclosures? How does somebody save themselves for a foreclosure? And I said, sure, no problem. So I had press coming here, and they did, a short 30 to 45 second report on foreclosures, and I was the expert. I was the one saying, hey, here's the opinion. Here's the 4 steps that you need to do in order to avoid foreclosure. In order to, if it's inevitable to go through foreclosure, here's how you survive. So I was the expert because I had an opinion, because I organized my thoughts. Okay, what's going to serve these people that are going through this process while I'm presenting these solutions? I had outreach, and because of my outreach, then it drew media attention to me. And then finally, I had an opportunity that I wouldn't have otherwise. The generalist, on the other hand, the guy that's just doing loans left and right, he's not even educating people. He's not writing reports. He's not sending out educational emails. He's not staying in contact with the people that he selected, because the first part is she hasn't selected a core audience that they want to serve. Then those opportunities don't come. And so you wonder, why does this person get to speak and this person doesn't? Why does this person show up on magazines and I don't? Why does this person here have so many opportunities, their business is growing, while this person doesn't? Well, the point is that this person on here, they've become experts. By 1, opinion. By 2, they've organized their thoughts, they've organized their experiences so that they can position themselves. 3 is outreach. 4 is opportunity. So as I wrap this up, let me go back to Ruth. So Ruth, initially, as the generalist, she sold Mary Kay. As a specialist, she was a health and beauty and confidence consultant, and she helped women who were struggling through cancer feel more beautiful, feel more confident about themselves as they're going through this process of cancer. And what happened there is that people started talking about that. People said, hey, you know what? My mother has cancer. I need you to talk to her. My sister has cancer. A friend that I know has cancer. I need you to talk to her. Well, it was still Mary Kay products that she provided on the back end, but her positioning was as an expert. Who was she serving? Her opinion was, hey, women going through cancer, and men as well, right? But for her, it was women. Women going through cancer, they should feel confident. They should feel good about themselves. They should feel beautiful. That was her opinion. So then she organized herself, and she looked at her own situation, and she said, you know what? I'm familiar with this cancer process. I've known people, and I know that I can serve them. I mean, in fact, I've done it already. So she organized all those different experiences so that she can now put it out there. And then she did outreach. Now, when she went to networking events, it was a whole different conversation. And then finally, 4 were the opportunities, because she's been crystal clear on who she serves, on becoming an expert. She's not really putting the products in the forefront because she's the expert. You could do mortgages, and the mortgages don't really matter. You're the expert. If you're a mechanic, you're the expert. Forget the products, forget the process. Nobody needs to know about that. They want to know your opinion, and they want to know how you could serve them. This is Alex Navas with alexnavas.com. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, then make sure that you sign up for any updates that we have. I'm going to be creating a whole lot more videos there to serve you and helping you market yourself, position yourself, become the expert in your industry so that you can go out and serve more people. Again, Alex Navas with alexnavas.com. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.